everyone. Welcome to She's Got Next, where real talk meets real experiences. I have the wonderful Maria Gakdeng here, a wonderful, amazing student athlete at UNC Chapel Hill, and I will be sharing some of her amazing accolades and her stats. So, Maria is currently a senior, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Majoring in political science. She's also a MAPD League Fellow at the Make a Play Foundation, focusing on leadership and career development. She's also an exceptional basketball player. Here are some of her stats. She has averaged 9.6 points per game in the 2022 and 2023 season. She has a record of 2.4 blocks per game, making her a dominant defensive presence, as well as maintaining a field goal percentage of 52.1%, showcasing her efficiency as a forward. Off the court, she creates amazing content to showcase her multifaceted skills as a D1 athlete. She highlights her personal style and fashion sense, also bringing humor. And she has a platform that provides unique and authentic perspective on balancing academics, athletics, and her personal passions as a D1 level student. So, welcome, Maria.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. I mean, I was first introduced to you coming to my first UNC women's basketball game in 2023,
Mhm.
and you are an amazing athlete. And even on socials, you carry yourself with so much elegance. And I'm so happy to have you on my podcast and share your wonderful journey.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely. So, what inspired you to pursue basketball at the D1 level? And what was your journey leading up to UNC?
Yeah, so definitely growing up, I didn't want to play basketball at first, especially like in middle school mostly. But somebody that really inspired me to play basketball was my big brother. He's 2 years older than me, but he'd always played since he was a kid, and I would always go to his games, and I would have fun, like get to know his teammates growing up. So he was very passionate about basketball, and he still is. And so he gives me tips and everything about like how to stay how to stay an athlete that is gonna make an impact in the long run. So I think my brother definitely has been a big inspiration, and then also my parents play basketball in South Sudan, where my family's from. Basketball's huge, so they played in like high school, but not really like college or anything. So those are my inspirations. Coming to UNC, I'm a senior here, but this is my second year. So I transferred from Boston College, which is also an ACC school. So I'm very familiar with how UNC women's basketball plays, how good of a program they've got, like how much they've improved over the past 4 years. So I really looked up to that. And going into the portal, I had a lot of schools that wanted to recruit me, but this was my one and only visit that I came to, and I committed when I came. I just felt like it was the right choice for me. Like everything felt right. I wanted good change. I think Boston College had a lot to offer, and it's a great academic and athletic school. But I think I wanted a culture that would push me to be a professional, and being around people and coaches that would push me to be the best version of myself. And I think that coming here was that right choice, just because of the athletic impact that it has, and also the community. So coming here, like understanding like community is everything. That's something I've grown to love about this place as well, other than just like the sports aspect of it. So yeah.
I love that. I love how that you said your brother was kind of your motivation. I think we can all agree someone in our family has impacted us. That
Hmm.
was how I grew up. My family is from the islands, Jamaica and
Hmm.
Virgin Islands, and soccer is a huge thing, and that's how I got into soccer. So it's amazing to see how your family has influenced you
Hmm.
of how you become today.
Yes.
Can you share any challenges that you faced along your journey, and how have you overcome them to achieve your goal as an amazing student athlete?
Yeah, definitely. I've definitely gone through my challenges, my fair share, especially throughout college and high school. I think in high school and the first couple of years of college, I dealt with a lot of like doubts of like where I would go or how I would get there. Just because like nothing ever seems like a clear path sometimes, and you just kind of have to have faith when going against challenges like you want to play at the professional level, and you want to reach like certain goals, and there's setbacks like, but I think the main thing that I kind of have learned over the course of time is that like not to focus on those goals, but also just focus on like the journey, like being 100% like authentic and like yourself, and not like a lot of people say fake it till you make it, but I think that being authentic and just being yourself, and going hard every day. I think that's the main thing. Like that's what one of the biggest things that I learned coming here. That if you just put in the work every day, those things will come to fruition. I believe so. That's one of the main things. And then also like this past year, I think that I dealt with a lot of confidence issues on the court. I think that it might. I don't know if it really showed. I feel like I had did a good job of like not really showing like when things got to me on the court. But I think one of the biggest things that I dealt with was confidence. So over I would say towards the end of the season of last season, I gained more, especially in like the first round of March Madness and the second round. Like I kind of just started to play like freely. I didn't restrict myself as much as I was during the season because I felt like obviously had a role in the team, but it was kind of hard navigating that, especially because I was doing so well in the beginning of the season, but then I kind of had like I kind of dipped off and wasn't doing as well as I wanted to. But towards the end of the season, I felt like that's something that changed for the better. I definitely gained a lot of confidence, and then one thing I learned over the summer was that like reps were moved out, so just continuing to do what I do best, but also learning to expand my game and growing confidence there. And it's also a lot of mental toughness that comes with like playing basketball, being a student athlete, being a student here. It's a lot that you have to deal with, and it's challenging sometimes, and it's not going to be easy. But that's like the best part. Like when you succeed in that, and those things were hard, like it just feels that much better. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
appreciate you being vulnerable. I think
yeah,
a lot of people see student athletes as these individuals that have it all together. They never have any bad days.
yeah.
And I think there are importance of highlighting those. We have bad days. There are sometimes I don't feel confident on the court,
Hmm.
but you take that dismay and turn it as your fuel to achieve so much greater. So
Hmm.
thank you for sharing that
Of
part.
course.
So let's talk about your amazing social media
Yeah.
presence. You have over 10,000 followers. How do you utilize your platform to showcase both your life as a student athlete, but also your personality off the court?
Yeah, I feel like this past year I've gained a lot of confidence in like my style, and I've gotten to tap into that kind of part of myself. Especially in the off season, I got to do what I love to do. I love to travel. I love to shop. I love to do things like that. So I said like why not like show people that what I love to do. So I think over the past couple of months, showcasing that has been fun. I think it's just like you just do it. And at first I was kind of like I didn't want to because I don't know, like posting on social media sometimes it's like it's kind of nerve wracking. Like you don't know like if your followers are gonna like it or what. But like I feel like I started to do it for myself. Like creating memories like that has been fun, especially like the March Madness vlog I did on my YouTube. That's like only video I have up right now, but I'm gonna work on more. But that was like so much fun. Like I always watch that video back because like those are memories that are gonna stay with you forever. So I feel like vlogging has been so much fun. My teammates love it. They love watching it. We watched it like when I was living with my teammates. We would watch it on our TV in Rams, and it was always a good time. Just watching that back. But creating those kind of memories, like especially for when I graduate and I'm not here anymore. Like looking back on that's gonna always be like something special to me. So
I love that. I
yeah,
mean, that's the main reason why I wanted to highlight amazing creators, not only just for my class, but these are things that people are going to be able to look on 10 years from now, 20
yeah,
years from now. And I'll be able to look at it and be like, hey, I knew Maria when she was starting at UNC. Now she's
yeah,
doing amazing, wonderful things.
yeah.
So that's awesome. The next question I have is what kind of content do you enjoy creating the most? I know you mentioned shopping and
Yeah.
traveling and hanging out with your friends. What is your favorite content to create?
I would say like mini vlogs. I would say on TikTok I do a lot of that. I posted a day in the life on my Instagram one time, and I feel like people like that. But mostly like mini vlogs. I like relatable content, like funny, like basketball. A lot of people like relate to like other like basketball, women's basketball, and all that. So basketball. I'm from South Sudan. I feel like our community has a lot of basketball players, but also a lot of like just people that want to like feel like you can relate to them. So I think a lot of people see me as a basketball player, but that's also part of my identity, being South Sudanese. So I feel like making content like that. There was an event back in June. It's called Ross Leaders, which is Republic of South Sudan Leaders. They had an event, and it was basketball, and also there was a gala. So I showcased like what that was about, and I feel like that was a part. That's a part of my identity. So I wanted to show people that it's not just like UNC, and it's not just like basketball, but it's also like community. So that's something I really love. I love to do as well. So Yeah.
Awesome. I'll make sure to continue to watch your day in the
Yeah.
lives. I absolutely love it because it's like I remember in undergrad how fun it is, and you're just carefree of making those memories for the
Yes.
next 4 years. So I hope that you continue to do that.
Yes.
So looking back at your journey so far, coming from Boston and
Mhm.
now being here at UNC, what advice would you give to young athletes, especially young girls that would like to be basketball players or athletes that want to play at this collegiate level?
I think I don't want to sound like cliche, but I think like just being like consistent, staying in the gym, like trusting the grind is like the best thing you could do. I think that for me, it was hard to trust it because like I feel like one thing I did that I shouldn't have done was like compare myself to like other people that were my age, but that's something you shouldn't do because I think there's so much like there's so many years ahead of you. Like you can go to a smaller school but end up at a bigger school. You could like that might not be for you. Big school might not be for you. You might want to go to a mid-major school. So I think finding your niche, finding what fits for you when it comes to college athletics, when it comes to off the court. So being true to yourself, and I feel like around that age is when a lot of teenagers have like that like identity crisis, like of do I want to do this or that, and like comparing themselves to others. But I think although it's easier said than done, like don't do that. Be like confident in who you are, um, and understand, like trust your gut. Honestly, like that's one of the biggest things as well. I feel like sometimes I make choices and like my guts tell me different, but like I make the wrong choice. But I think trusting your gut is also a really big thing. So yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of young kids now with the world of social media watching
Yes.
all their different peers that are influencers or they just have a lot of followings and they're like, I'm supposed to be at this level, but
Yeah.
everyone's journey is different, everyone's time is different. So I
Definitely. Yeah.
love that you shared that. So who inspires you the most?
I think there's a lot of people that inspire me. Like a lot of people that have different like things that I'm interested in, but they like excel well in that. But there's two creators that I really love. Well, I really love Angel Reese's content and what she does. I feel like she's just so unapologetically her, and that's like the name of her podcast. I watch her podcast. I follow her. Like, we actually played together back in high school because I'm from that area, so we played together for 1 year on Team Takeover. But she always was like she never changed. Like I feel like she's always been that way, like feisty, but like such a sweet person. Like being on her team, like you like playing against her is different from like being like a friend of hers. So she's always been a really good person, I think. And I feel like even though there's a lot of negativity that comes to her for being a black woman that is like strong in who she is and very secure in who she is, but there's also people that love it, and I'm part of that group. So I absolutely love like what she does, and even outside of like basketball, she like like she loves fashion, she loves traveling, like those are the things I love to do. So watching her do that at the level she's doing it at, it definitely inspires me. Even though she's like a year older than me, like definitely look up to her. Definitely a big fan. And then also there's a creator, her name is Gloria. She's yeah, she's South Sudanese, so we're from the same country, but she does like makeup content. That's something I really wanted to get into, like makeup and all that. But she's also just a very outspoken individual, and she doesn't apologize for what like she's done. Like she took a break from social media and she's back now, and like I'm so like happy that she came back and she's like stronger than she was before because there was so much negativity around a video that she did, and I feel like there's so many people that like Angel, like that are negatively gonna try to impact you, but there's people that support her. So yeah, those two creators are definitely people that I look up to. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I love her content.
Yeah.
Like, she's the only one I go to when I'm looking for a foundation for women
Exactly.
of color.
Yeah.
And if it's not approved by her, I don't.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I love watching her. And same thing with Angel Reese. I love seeing black women that are unapologetically themselves
Yes.
because society tries to put us in this box where we have to not be too angry or aggressive. We can't be demanding because then we're going to be bossy. So I just love seeing women of color just be their authentic selves. So I have some fun little closing questions.
Okay.
If you could play a one-on-one game with a basketball player, past or present, who would it be, and what would be your strategy to?
That's a good question. Trying to think. Past or present. So this is one-on-one,
Yeah,
or okay, one-on-one. I know I'd probably really like unfair game, but I really want to play Asia Wilson for some reason, even though she's like the best player in the world.
Yes.
I feel like that's somebody that I also look up to. She's a great athlete, and a great person. So I feel like playing her, but my strategy to win, it's gonna be a tough one. I don't know, just being able to defend because when she gets the ball like in the low post, she can shoot it from there. She can take you from there. So I think playing good defense is probably the biggest thing. But she's also a great defender, so she's definitely a great two-way player. But I just feel like I would love to play her just to learn something from her. So yeah.
So Asia, if you hear her, if you want to come to Chapel Hill, they're here.
Yeah.
My last question is, what's your go-to hype song before a big game?
Mm.
And do you have any pre-game rituals or superstitions?
I don't have any rituals really. I usually do the same thing though. I listen to my gospel music before, and then I get hype. So those are two things I really do. My pregame hype song has always been like Gunna. I love Gunna.
Yes, I love Gunna.
Gunna's great. I'm gonna see him in DC in 2 weeks, so for fall break when I go home. So that'll be fun. But Gunna, there's a song on Drip Season 4 called South to West that I absolutely love. That one gets me hyped before the game like every single time. It doesn't miss. But yeah, but that's definitely my favorite song. And then the ritual, I usually come out. Well, the guards warm up before the post do, so I come out and stretch, and I just talk to the coaches. Like whoever stretches with me, I just usually talk to them. But yeah, I just like to stay like calm before games. I don't really like to. I do get hype. We do a little dance in our circle, so we have our own like team rituals that we usually do. We do a dance circle. Kayla McPherson, she does a hype up thing for us, so those things always get me like ready to go for the game. But when it comes to like individually, I like to like stay calm, kind of meditate sometimes because especially like a big game. But I usually do that every game because like no matter who we play, it's always going to be like some type of challenge. So yeah.
Well, I'm so happy that you're able to sit down and take time out of your busy schedule to share your journey, and I'm so excited to see you this season, and hopefully that your senior year ends wonderfully.
Mm-hmm.
So, everyone, that is a wrap for today's episode of She's Got Next. Maria, I know you're going to be doing amazing things in the near future, and for my listeners out there, keep striving, keep shining, and remember, you've got next.